Admit people. Are we live? Are we live? Are we
We
live?
should be. I'll get my phone to go and check.
Go for it. Hello, guys. Hello. Good afternoon. We are running a bit late. What's up, Marcel?
Oh man, I broke my PR again.
Oh, wow. We're happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. And we have got Augustus.
Hey,
What's up, Augustus? Right, let's change this up over here.
Thank you.
Augustus, where are you joining us from?
from Spain.
Amazing. Is this your first time joining a track help session?
Yes, it is actually.
And where's the audio on that? And we got Adham. What's up, Adham? Can you hear us, Adham?
I think he's muted.
Yeah,
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Adham. You're joining us from Sharjah, is that correct? UAE?
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you. What's up, bro? Welcome, Stevie. Welcome. It's nice to see Stevie. I remember Stevie was
here last year. Last week. Was he?
He's yesterday. I have to introduce you, everybody, firstly, to gentleman to my left, Guy
Hello,
Williams.
everyone. How's everyone doing today? We all okay?
So you might be wondering, we're in the same place. We're in the UK, actually. If you're following, there was a 24-hour race, Daytona Milton Keynes, one of the biggest races that happened in the year. We're fresh from the track. This race ended just a couple of hours ago. And we said, no, we can't miss track help for this week because there's people...
Gotta stay consistent.
Gotta stay consistent. There's people who want their footage to be reviewed. There's people who need help. Stevie, can you hear us? I think, Stevie, you're muted. So what I wanted to say is Stevie actually made the... Hello, Stevie? No, I don't think his audio is working. So Stevie made the trek down from Sunderland, which is, or near Sunderland, north of UK, 3-hour drive. He just came to the race to watch and meet us. So before we start, we'll give you guys obviously a quick synopsis of the race because that's important. Guy was the cameraman, right? Guy very, very nicely came down. He said he'd help out with some filming for this race. How did you find it? I mean, it was 2 days of filming.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was intense. The race was an amazing race. I mean, as Omar will tell you now, it was quite an unfortunate result. Would you say that? We got
unfortunate, yeah.
We got very, very unlucky with the state of our karts.
What happened was this race is decided by kart draw, right? And whatever kart you get in the kart draw sticks with you for practice, qualifying, and the 24-hour race. And as the marshals clarified, unless you have a catastrophic error on your kart, like an engine blows up, axle gets bent, then we might look into changing.
Yeah.
What happened with us is our kart was cutting out. So these are the 2-stroke D-Max karts or junior Rotax engine karts with a rental kart chassis. So just a bit more powerful. And yeah, everyone who did practice on our team, 7 drivers, experienced the engine cutting out. It had no top-end speed as well, so generally on the back foot. That's not to worry though, because your kart is your kart. You got to do best you can. And over the hours, we found that it was
just slowly improving, I'd say. I mean, as we ended up beginning in the race, we were doing incredibly well. We were at P3.
Well, what happened was we qualified P12, and it was Harrison, who's a very quick driver. He started the race within his first 3 hours because he double stinted 1.5 hours. He brought it up to P3. So we really made some inroads. Why we got P3 even with a slow kart? Well, this race is about overtaking drivers. It's not necessarily about being quick in one lap because we're sharing the track with the 4-stroke karts, the slower rental karts.
The Sodi SR4s.
So the SR4s, yeah.
SR5s, depends which ones they have.
Exactly. We were in the D-Max with 22 drivers, and then the remaining 25 were Sodis.
Yes.
So the 47 people on this tight track, it's Daytona Milton Keynes.
About a 10-second time difference between
Yeah.
karts as well.
You would have seen the videos on the channel probably, how tight this track is. So every lap you're overtaking someone. Minimum 1 guy, up to 5 to 6 guys in a lap. So it's really about who can negotiate traffic the cleanest. If you get held up on the line and things, you'll lose time. So by 12 hours of the race, we held P3.
There we go.
And then the rain came. So what happened when the rain came?
The rain came. So we were actually both asleep at that time.
We finished our race.
we were done.
Yeah.
We had an amazing day, but it was time for us to get some rest.
And then
Omar went to bed looking at the times. We had an app we could use that could tell us the times remotely.
live timing.
Everyone could have joined in. I don't know if you guys had managed to join in or not. And we went to bed really confident. We clawed away from P6 to P4, was it? Or P5 to P4?
Yeah, because we lost a bit of time in the maintenance.
Yeah,
so
but
we dropped down from P3 to P5, then we made inroads to P4 whilst the rain came down. Now we assigned that to the rain masters in our team, the two drivers.
Oh, God.
And sometimes, things don't go to plan. It rained, it was torrential rain. It was very heavy.
We heard it sleeping.
So yeah, it was heavy. I mean, the guys got caught out a couple of times. They spun, right? That lost them time. One instance, they got caught up in a petty incident where they spun out. They went onto the grass, and then they got stuck on the grass for 2 minutes before a marshal would recover them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the biggest problem was our sprocket. So the sprocket was bent. First time it was bent, you could literally hear it grinding on the axle. And obviously, we pitted in. There's a team there who'll work on the karts, and they did their best effort. To be fair, they could have done a bit better. I mean, they just hammered the sprocket back into place. I mean,
it sounded like it was a very
it's quite
job.
Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly what you do to a damaged sprocket.
No.
So we go out again, and same thing happens. The sprocket gets bent, so we come back into the pits. So we're just constantly losing time between 12 a.m. and would you say 6 a.m.?
We woke up at 6 and we were
we were way down.
Right.
It was those 6 hours. Yeah. So spinning off. We got a black flag, by the way, for that incident when we got stuck in the grass. So we had to pit for that. You lose about 2 minutes in time. Then we had a couple of sprocket changes or sprocket issues that cost us time. So we were outside the top 10, P3 to P10. That's how you can ruin a race in 6 hours.
Our team managers, didn't he say we were in the pits for the mechanic bay for good? Was it 30 minutes or 13?
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. It was a crazy amount of time.
Yeah, you lost a lot of time.
In my opinion, the people at Dana were lovely, like the staff even as well. But the mechanics could have really probably done a more thorough job.
I think.
No, we weren't there. It was a very stressful race for everyone, but
course.
still.
No, I think the thing with them is they were under pressure.
No.
So they got 47 teams, right? 47 karts. I think about 4 mechanics, right, who are working on it on rotation. And everyone is generally going to complain, oh, my kart is bad and things. So they said, look, we're going to send a test driver out to simulate if he gets that same problem you're telling us.
But we had no weight, so of course.
So no, it wasn't about the time; it was about the problem.
Okay, no worries.
So this test driver is doing laps upon laps, and he's like, "Well, I didn't feel the problems," and people weren't getting their way. But that's rental kart racing for you. It's never going to be the same.
No.
What I would have suggested is if we have a kart rotation system. They do that in other 24-hour races, where everyone uses every kart. So that way, nobody can complain. I had a bad kart. You're all going to use good karts and bad karts. They have to have that rotation system. It's tricky to implement for 47 drivers. But anyway, by 6 a.m. we were down to P12. So the final 6 hours of the race was about me getting back on track and the others doing more stints, getting our head down and just firing it through. Unfortunately, we only finished in P11. So P11 out of 47, which is a humbling result. Definitely not what we expected, 12 hours later from being P3 to drop significantly outside the top 10. And
when we woke up, we were disheartened to see that, weren't we?
Yeah, it was difficult to get out of bed and go to the track. But
Omar was sat there for a good 20 minutes, kind of just debating life choices.
Contemplating life. No. But all in all, the reason we wanted to do this is to capture the behind the scenes, which you guys will see once we edit all the footage, hopefully in the next week or so. And really, it's some amazing footage, guy. I mean, what did you get?
I mean, so we were properly kind of just getting as much good footage for the viewers, of course, and also kind of give that kind of that behind that scenes look at things. So then hopefully, if you guys want to get involved next year, and you can see what it's like, make an informed decision about how we run things, like how Daytona run things. And just going to give kind of a really good insight into the weekend and kind of make you feel like you're there. So, of course, Omar's been working very hard editing that video. It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take some time because we want to do things in the right way. You don't want to rush it and then have
That
a
comment there.
mediocre one.
WT Racing.
How do I just one sec? We're reading chat. How do I send?
In videos.
How do I send in videos? Yeah. Well, let's put up the pin comment real
Yeah.
quick before we go over
I'll
to
be on here. I can grab
the
it on
current
here.
users. No worries. Who was that? TW Racing? Who was it?
WT.
WT Racing. WTF1.
You can see.
So I'm gonna pin this comment. Yeah. And then we're gonna go for that. So guys who are currently in the call, is anyone following KTips on Instagram?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. One sec. Sorry. That was. I'm just gonna go back to. Just give me one sec, guys.
I can do it. I can copy it.
Control P.
I'll do that stuff.
Just pin this, yeah, real quick. Just pin the last comment. I'll pin this one.
Yeah, I applied Alex through YouTube. You have to do that.
We had. Is it Marcel or Augustus? Who was following? And Stevie as well.
Yeah, I'm following.
Me as well.
Adham, yep. Augustus.
What was the question again? I was
Were
I was
you?
away for a little.
You follow KTips on Instagram?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay, no worries. Marcel, did you follow?
I did not.
I was just checking if I did. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, we've basically been posting live updates of this race for the past 48 hours. Adham, you must have seen, the updates. Stevie as well.
Yes,
What did you make of it? Because first time we've done something like this.
I looked at it.
Amazing. We can hear you now, Stevie, as well. Stevie, you traveled 3 hours to the track. That was amazing.
commitment right
That's
there.
commitment. Talk us through the experience.
It was very busy. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe how busy it was.
Yeah.
Everybody got a job and they seemed to be getting on with it. And the outsiders just stood and looked in awe.
Yeah.
I mean, were you surprised by the sheer volume of people and tents that were set up as well?
Well, I couldn't find you for, 3/4 of an hour. So I was going from tent to tent saying, is it racing team 68?
Yeah. What a name, hey?
So you had to come a long way because we were all the way up the pit lane.
Yeah.
So you went to all those tents. No. That's if you were on Instagram, you should have sent me a message actually, DM, and then I would have been able to contact you like that. Well, it was worth the trek, even through the pit lane. You were
It was a
trekking.
pleasure to have him.
It
It
was.
was entertaining. It was
There we
very
go.
entertaining.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. And I think you joined. What time did you come to the race? Was it 12 o'clock?
Yeah. It's about that. About 12:30, I think.
Yeah. So you got the sunny weather. It was very nice actually.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Until night, obviously, where it rained. But now
Mm.
it's sunny again, which is awesome. Guys, we're gonna have to make a move to get on with today's objective, which is reviewing your footage. And we've put a pin link to join the academy for all these people. We're gonna approve them in.
That's easy.
Once you approve, once you're in,
Yeah.
you can submit your footage. We're going to do this on first submit, first review basis. I'm just going to open up the last message from.
And I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be in frame for the majority of it. If you have any specific questions you'd like to direct towards me, I'm an indoor expert.
Yep.
So
there you go.
Just shout my name. I'm going to be sitting over here moderating the chat. And also, if Omar's too busy with kind of just doing the live stream, if you have any other questions you want to ask, I have 9 years experience as well as Omar. He has 10. Just type in the chat. I'll get to it. Get to you in the chat as well. I'm more than happy to do that if Omar's okay with that, and we'll just sort this out.
So
There you go.
I've just reviewed the chat now based on timing order. So it looks like Nikita submitted, but Nikita's not here yet. Adham, go for it. I think your hand is up.
Yeah, just a question. What do you think of karting simulators? Are they worth it or are they a scam?
We're just talking about this actually earlier. Come through, guy. Let's discuss about karting simulators. Nikita, welcome, Nikita. Can you hear us?
The anticipation.
Oh, hey there, I can hear you guys.
What's up, Nikita? Welcome, welcome. Is this the first track help session you're joining?
Yeah, this is the first one.
Amazing. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining you from Siberia.
Wow, wow, that's awesome. How is the karting scene there?
Well, it's a bit limited. I travel a lot for work, so whenever I visit different cities in Russia, I try to join different kart rentals, but it's not the best here. I mean, we do have a little bit of clubs, but they're mostly like super professional, and they are on a very high level like you guys. So I'm just starting out in rentals, and I'm doing these indoor rental carts.
Excellent, excellent.
Perfect.
Well, welcome actually to the track help session. What we're gonna do is just go through people's footage one by one. We're gonna start with Adham. Adham, you had a question?
Yeah, karting simulators. What do you think of them?
So, we actually had a chat with Cameron Das today. I don't know if any of you know about Cameron Das, and another dude.
Sure they do.
Yes, of course.
Cameron Das and Paul Thomas.
And Paul Thomas, that's the one.
TRX.
TRX Motorsports. TRX is a big team in the UK.
Yeah.
Karting simulators. I think they're a brilliant way to improve your lap times. I know I've tried out kart sim. I don't know if anyone's done the kart simulating.
Haven't.
It's
I'm not a sim racer.
no, I understand. It's there is two paths you can go down.
Yeah.
You can either go down you can either go down the kart, the actual, it's called Kart Sim UK Ltd.
Yeah.
They make custom simulators for the tracks. And they come with the seat, the PC setup. I believe you can get the monitors involved, but they're incredibly expensive. Now they are top of the line. Some of them even have motion on them. They have a pro sim which has a motion on it.
I think like any other simulators, how much investment you put in, the sky's the limit. So if you want the best of the best, you can pay £7,000, which is about 40,000 AED. And you'll get this with motion, and the tracks are laser scans. So it's, proper track. However, Paul from TRX told us you can buy a ready-made rig of a kart, which has a kart seat, similar chassis, for about £600. So you're talking about 2,500 AED. And then
around that.
you can buy your own pedals and wheel, whether it be Logitech or Fanatec.
Well, I think also the issue would be, other than the tracks being there or not, is going to be the car. So you really can't find cheap software, because I could manage without the seat and it being really accurate, but I can't manage without the cart handling being right.
Yeah, that's true. Did you try KartCraft? That was one of the first games for kart simulators. Have you seen that?
Yeah, haven't tried that.
Try out KartCraft. That's a cheap one to get. I think that's on Steam. Yeah. You get it
it's there.
Steam. And then you can go for the really high-end one, which is £900 for kart sims software. That's obviously private, and normally you get that with your package. So they sell it for a premium, just their software. So
I'm looking for that, but that's like £500.
Yeah, £900. Well,
I think that's the EU and the UK. I think the UK on its own is 500.
Yeah, there you go. So it's really, the sky's the limit, and you got to do what's within your budget. I wouldn't obsess over high end stuff if you don't have the budget. Just go for something simple. KartCraft and some wheels and pedals is fine. Otherwise, you got the budget. Fork out the £7,000. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 grand, and they got up to 7.
3 or 4 grand, and they go up to 7. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Right. Thanks very much.
Welcome, Salman. Welcome. Can you hear us? What's up, Salman? Can you hear us? I think you're on mute. All right. Well, let Salman connect his mic. What we're going to do, I was going chronologically. So I was reviewing who submitted the footage first on school. Nikita hadn't joined till then. but now he's joined, so we're gonna get Nikita to open up his footage. Well, actually, I'm just reviewing your message over here. Now, Nikita, I'm just gonna share my screen. Talk me
Sure.
through this track we can see. This is a track diagram of an indoor track, is it?
Yeah, it is. I actually, I actually took it in my own hand and I printed out the whole track, and I have this little thing that I was planning to move along the track. So if you want to do that, I can go ahead and explain.
He's got it on the camera. Look at this.
Amazing, amazing. Right, so we're gonna turn off the.
Yeah,
jump,
he's
let's
got a
jump,
track
let's
map.
jump.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Go
okay,
for it. So we're gonna pin your thing actually. Pin for everyone.
sure. Thanks a lot.
No,
So
cool.
here's the track, and obviously you can see the finish start line here.
Yeah.
It's the cutoff. So sometimes when I'm feeling by the middle that I am doing my best track, I'm trying to sacrifice some speed in some corners so I can really come blasting to the finish line and for it to time my track perfectly. We have the pit stop here, so it's a little bit wider, and when I'm having a good track, I kind of it starts here. The start of my good track starts at the last turn. So I tap on the brakes slightly to
Rotate.
to kind of rotate and get some traction at the front.
Yeah.
I don't go too wide, and I obviously try to use the whole track. So I lightly brush here, and I use the whole width of the track and go full throttle here. The timer starts. I move my car somewhere here, and I brake hard. And I try to do some trail braking. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I'm doing it for the fun of it. So smash the brakes really hard without locking the wheels, release them a little bit. I try not to steer here. I try to time my apex a little bit later. So I go here, and then I try to brush this corner. And here's where I think I'm having most of the troubles. Because I'm having such massive speed, my kart tends to swing hard here. And when I try to steer into this hairpin, it swings really hard. It's like a pendulum. I can feel it. Sometimes it's fun, but I think I'm losing a lot of speed here because it swings here, and then I swing right here, and I'm losing a lot of speed. Sometimes I don't come to a standstill, but I'm losing a lot of speed here. Here I can feel a lot of sliding here, and
you're losing time over there.
Throttle from here
So
and there. So most of the troubles are in this hairpin, and I could use some of.
And then basically the end of the track is you're quite comfortable with, right?
Yeah, it's basically full throttle from here.
Yeah, all the way.
It's not shown on the map. There's a big wide opening, so I can when I time it right, I can use again the full width of the track to come out as straight as possible. And here are a bit of a turn. So yeah, it's basically full throttle here. Maybe I'm losing some time here in this chicane, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's important because I have massive speed here because it's basically full throttle. So here's a lot of speed, and I have to brake here so I don't smash into the wall. So that's how it goes most of the time.
It's fascinating. What I see by your track is really decided by the double hairpins, and possibly even the final corner, you could say. How long have you been driving at this track for?
It's been on and off for some time. I haven't been there for a long time. My best times are around 18 seconds, and weekly best track times are around 16 seconds. So I know guys in these carts, they can go full 2 seconds quicker than I am, and I've been driving at this track for around a year.
Okay, and these are gas carts?
Yeah, these are gas carts. Those are
Yeah.
Sodi carts, Sodi SR6 or SR8, something like that.
Excellent, excellent. Those are quite powerful. And what about the track surface itself? Is it concrete or is it quite a slippery surface?
Yeah, it's a slippery concrete, and it's like an underground parking garage that's been converted to a track.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. What I'm trying to do over here is locate some footage.
The name in English.
Yeah. Do you have the name in English by any chance of this place? Or
Yeah,
even
I can try to find it.
even in Russian, and then we can copy paste,
Yeah.
try and find
Can
an
you not?
onboard video.
Yeah, sure. That would be good. Do you want me to type it in chat?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so
Visually gives us a better understanding of how wide the track is, what kind of surface we're dealing with. So if we put this on YouTube, it should come up, right?
yeah, that should do the trick. I'm gonna do that in the meantime in background as well to see if they have some karting.
This one from 3 years ago. It's like a car park area, right? It's not multi-level car park. No, not
Oh, I
not
found the one. Yeah, but this one's the older track now. They've basically changed that thing to
to a shorter one.
6 months ago. So it's a new
Wow,
track.
it's new, right?
I can try and sort it by new.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have
If
it.
there's anything new.
But yeah, I should invest in some in a GoPro and
Yeah,
go ahead.
don't worry too much. That's something you can think of at a later stage. Definitely, it doesn't have to be GoPro or something like that. Just a camera where you can record your footage is very, very handy. Because over time you build up like a collection of your driving, and at home you can analyze it yourself, and it refreshes your memory. What happens if you go to the track, do racing, you come home next week, you forget what you did, and you don't have any reference of the previous week. It's just based on memory, and your mind can only store so much information. Could you send over the link of the 6 months ago? I mean, is it significantly different, you'd say, the layout?
I'm looking at
6
it
months
right
or 6
now.
years ago?
Sorry, 7 years ago actually. Their track.
Yeah, because I've located some old footage as well.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
quite.
Is it K54?
No, K54 is the other one. They have poor cards at K54. They're like handmade cards from lawnmower engines.
No worries. So just share the link you currently have. But other than that, I'm gonna open up the track diagram you got and go over a few things because
Sure.
it's interesting that you told me. Let's just open this up. Let me try and share it with everyone. Okay, share. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. This reminds me of a track. There's one in Malaysia, very, very similar underground parking area. And it looks pretty much just like this. Is it running? Okay, hold on. It's running smoothly, right? You guys can see it smoothly. Is it lagging?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Well,
Is it lagging?
I see it quite laggy.
Okay, let's just give it a few seconds. So what I can immediately tell, based on track width, is it as tight as it looks now, or have they widened it up?
No, it's actually somewhat even more tighter than this.
Oh wow, this tighter than this. That is very difficult then. Yeah, I can see what you mean by the layout's different. Here we got a double right into. Is this hairpin the same?
I don't actually recognize this. This is from 7 years ago, so it's quite different. But I can tell that the track surface is the same.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're dealing with is basically a concrete or a slippery concrete, as you were saying.
That's called polished concrete, I think. It's polished concrete. From my experience at polished concrete tracks, the best thing you can try and do is to maintain grip as much as possible. So I know earlier you were talking about you think the back end's kind of kicking out after the start-finish line on that left-hander into the right-hander.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That, chicane sort of kind of hairpin, double
Yeah, double
chicane.
hairpin.
Yeah. So I think it might be beneficial if you're carrying enough speed through that corner
Mhm.
to use the brakes for rotation a
Mhm.
little bit, but then you want to be very smooth on the brakes. So as soon as you've got that rotation with the kart, you're not sliding out and you can grip immediately back up again.
Mhm.
Whereas I'm noticing there are patches where it's less polished than like other.
This is
So
good.
this is very polished here through here, and then polished, and then here on the inside looks very unpolished.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially here, this I don't know. It just looks. The track surface definitely looks interesting. It looks like a mix between polished concrete and just normal grey concrete.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a couple of things to go over and to ask as I'm going to switch my share
I'm
screen
gonna move to be suit.
to the entire screen. Is breaking points over here. So where are your general breaking points? Oops.
Sure. I'm gonna show again this thing.
Okay, yep, you can show on your side. That's even better.
Point it here. Normally I break here so that I don't smash into the wall. If I don't
Okay.
break, I
First
have
breaking point.
just too much speed. It's not really a braking point. It's more like a light tap on the brakes to introduce some rotation and get the grip over to the front. Obviously, here is the braking point. And I think I try to brake here as well. So brake hard here.
Amazing.
Go ahead. Try to go wide to gain some speed.
Yeah.
And then brake here as well. Just to introduce a little bit of rotation. And I think I'm trying to do a late apex. So I go like this, obviously exaggerated because it's a huge thing and it's not exactly accurate, but I go somewhere around here and then full throttle from here.
Amazing. I'm just going to switch over to my share screen now. What I want to do is try and show you a line which requires braking at the oops, where's my marker? So we've got braking at the first hairpin, but at the second point, which is over here, it gets a bit tighter and it's a sharp hairpin. We can try and introduce a lift now instead. So lifting off the gas and taking it like that. When we deal with any kind of hairpin turn, as I'm just gonna rotate your image.
Sure.
Let's try and rotate it to the left. No, zoom in, why not? So the ideal line that you want to take should look something like this, right? And I'm gonna try one more time. Go back to here. Go back to hide that. So what we're doing for the first part is we're going deep into the corner, trying to do a sharp late turn in and hit a late apex. So for the next corner, we end up on the left-hand side of the track. What you'll notice, the tighter you are to the left, the more you can open up this corner.
Oh, that's right.
If we're in the middle, look how much we have to turn. If we're even closer to the middle, we have to pretty much brake as hard as possible.
Absolutely.
The wider you can take this turn, erase this, which is on my yellow line. Now the corner opens up, and sometimes you don't have to brake as much. You can get off with a lift. What you want to do is lift relatively early, so basically where my circle is, and then lay the power back down, hit a middle to late apex, and use all the track on exit. Why do you think we don't brake over here, but we have to brake over here at 50?
Because at 50, you have a massive amount of speed. That's the max speed of the track.
Yeah.
And if we don't brake, we're just going to smash into the wall.
Simple,
but on the second hairpin, you don't have to brake as much because you don't have a lot of speed. And sometimes I can feel that if I slide my cart just enough, it can act as a brake. So
Right.
sliding it lowers the speed enough for it to not slide in the hairpin itself.
When you're scrubbing the tires. Yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head there. What you're doing is sacrificing the speed over here because you have to, otherwise you go in the barrier. And when you back on the gas as you take a late apex, here to here is a very short straight. Based on the track diagram, I don't know how it is in real life. Is it a very short period between?
Yeah, it's very short.
hairpins?
It's like 3 kart lengths.
Yeah, 3 kart lengths.
Okay.
So you're not going to be building out that speed. These Sodis are gas-powered karts. The revs take time to build up. So rather than focusing on braking, why don't we focus on the entry position and making this corner as wide as possible? The wider you can make it, the more speed you can carry, right? So the tighter we take in the middle, the less speed we carry, basically.
Yeah.
And I want you to try and introduce leaning in these corners, especially on a double hairpin. Do you lean your body weight to any particular side?
I've seen some of your videos, and
Yeah.
I taught to lean out of the corner to lift the inner wheel.
Yeah. So we want to shift the your body weight to the outside, right? With the natural force, load those outside tires. So imagine yourself in the cart now. We're taking that second hairpin, so it's a sharp right. When you lean your body to the left, it would be in this case the opposite to the right. You're putting the load over there on the left. And all those tires, as you're turning and laying the power down, it's helping with grip. It's not going to slide as much. And
Okay.
the help
So-
with rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning and I'm loading up those tires that actually have contact.
Exactly. It's difficult to explain, but like in one of the races I was just doing very recently, over the past couple of days, I was literally just shifting my weight as if I'm trying to sit on that tire. And the more you exaggerate it, like the more the cart will grip and the less you turn, because leaning does the turning for you.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Now, leaning, of course, is something which takes practice, right? It can feel, when you're trying to exaggerate it, especially, it can feel quite, uneasy. I know people have said, well, I tried leaning, but, it felt painful and things like that. But if you're actually just doing it, as you mentioned, keep the practice up. You'll have to do it for that second hairpin. So basically, I just want to quickly recap with you as we share my screen. Just give us one moment. We've got Moel. What's up? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
You joined last week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Hope you're doing well. We're just reviewing Nikita's footage, and then hopefully we'll come to you towards the end.
Okay, no problem.
There's something specific you wanted to review today, or just questions, or just to watch?
For now, just watching, but I'm gonna see if I have anything.
Yeah, you're welcome to just raise your hand in the chat, and then I can come to you.
Okay.
Guy, before I go over the review, what did you want to add for Nikita?
Just on two things. So we got, first of all, the first thing I'm going to touch on is this corner. You say it's only 3 kart lengths between. You want to just you can do it at an odd point. So 3 kart lengths between here and here, realistically, right?
Yep.
Possibly these are Sony SR6 or SR5s. That acceleration is going to be bottoming out. I mean, I know indoor tracks the back of my hand, but this is a very outdoorsy kind of type corner. Because it's such a long sweeping. We don't get that much indoors except for just flat out corners. I really want to see an onboard. So I know it's impossible today, but maybe I want him to try 2 lines if you don't mind. Try Omar's first. The one where it's wide and using all the track on exit.
Okay.
So tight and then late apex, all track and exit, and then I have a feeling, but he's going so slowly through this section here, he can just stick it really close.
That's very true. So what you're doing is your entry is the same.
Yeah, but maybe even later try and get even more, kind of get into this kind of groove or this kind of exit on the out.
So do you mean a bit in the middle?
No. So still all the way out on the outside on the entry. So here. No, I just I'm on your way. I don't know. I just
stay to the left, okay.
I mean, realistically, overshoot and then really trying to kind of, because with you having to kind of come all the way back out until they kind of just sticking it. I mean, the track down is a. I need to go down if possible, and I want to see what the next corner is. Yeah. So in my opinion, it's really beneficial here to be over here ASAP. So then you can set up for just literally straight lining that. I don't know what the track's like here with the grip. I think it very much depends on how hot the day is. I mean, you said you're in was it Russia, Serbia? Is it usually quite cold in that car park?
It's kind of cold, yeah. It's underground, and the ground is quite cold.
So, when on the really cold days, I'll definitely try Omar's kind of going wide on the exit or using up all the track. But if it ever heats up, maybe try that more tight line, because just because it's a really long sweeping corner, I'm thinking that maybe that might add some grip.
I think that's very good feedback, because it's important to experiment different things. Now, what you don't want to do is, one lap do this line, one lap the other line, one lap this line, one lap, because you're still learning the track. So what I would recommend is do one session only on the pink line, and then do one session on the yellow line, and it's minute differences. All we're doing on the yellow line is taking a similar apex and then turning in slightly earlier, using up all the track. Whereas on the pink line, you're trying to save meters by turning to the right. The only downside this could have is you got more steering angle, right? So you're holding right hand steering angle all the way here. The more you turn your wheel, the slower you'll drive. However, these are low powered Saudi karts, so you could get away with it. It's a matter of you going out there and experimenting, and that's the fun part.
It is.
You've got it all to do, kind of thing. What's your feedback on that? Have you tried those lines before? Did you instinctively do that, or?
I think I did. Yeah, instinctively I did try your line, Omar.
Yes,
the yellow line. I did try it. I'm trying to experiment a little bit sometimes. I try not to brake at all for the second hairpin, so that the sliding of my cart is enough to slow me down, and then I just floor the pedal even before the apex. I mean, it takes a while for the wheels to start rotating. But yeah, I'm trying that instinctively, and it was nice to learn the differences. It was nice to learn that I don't have to experiment one lap this, one lap the other one, because it gets all messy in the head. I'm gonna try to go with one session and go with them. One session, one line, another session, another line. That was lovely.
And the best way to approach these sessions, I explained this to Stevie last week. When you're doing something new, spend the first 5 or 7 laps, especially yours, 7 laps, because it's a short track, almost building up from walking pace to a gradual pace, then to a 60%, 70%, finally towards the end 100%, because your mind is trying to process this, line. And if you just go 100% from the beginning, you do something wrong, it gets overwhelming, or you miss things. Slow it down, get faster like that. You're there to learn. This is not championship race or anything like that. You got time on the track. Use it to set clear session objective, today's objective, experimenting a wider line for turn 2, is it for you? The second hairpin is turn 2. So we're going to try and take a late apex for turn 1, stay on the left hand side of the track as much as possible, open up turn 2, lean my body out the corner, try and load those outside tires.
That was
lean your body out, and then help that to rotate the cart and minimize the sliding. The more you lean, the less you slide. That's what we've
okay.
So because remember, you're loading the outside tires with grip. So more grip the tires have, the less they're going to slide.
That's right. I never thought about that this way, so I'll try that out.
Yeah, and let's try and get rid of the braking. Let's try and get rid of the braking.
Get rid of the brake.
Yeah, in terms of the second hairpin. So you're saying sometimes you brake, sometimes you are not. Ultimately, the second hairpin on that type of layout doesn't look like it requires brake. You're still just building up speed.
You kind of carry as much momentum to then get that top speed through the fast, long right-hander. Because I think that's going to be key to setting good lap time. Was it's just so, and also what I find is, mate. So you on an 18-second lap, was it? Is that correct about that?
Yep.
I understand that. My local track's a 22 second. We only have 4 corners, 21 second. It's a short track. So it may so another thing I get is the mental thing is you think, oh, this is gonna be easy, you know, this is gonna be an easy thing to learn. I've been racing my local track for 9 years. I have over 1,000 races, and I'm still trialing new lines and new things to do, even after 1,000 races and 5 track records.
That's
Because
what makes it
things
exciting.
change. Because more rubber gets laid down, temperatures change, global warming has made it hotter. That may sound crazy, but it's true though, isn't it?
I don't know about that.
No, it was global warming heating up the planet. Things are getting hotter every year, and that's why kart tracks genuinely get faster unless they have a surface change or a thingy. It's not, of course, it's not all to do with that. And the last thing about the leaning, because I know I lean all the time. A lot of drivers lean. Yeah. The first 10, maybe 30 sessions even, it felt unnatural. It felt a little bit. It screwed over my steering a little bit. So, would you recommend for Nikita to try and nail the line, then incorporate the leaning, or what's your approach on this?
I think you have to add the leaning with this line because the way you take it without breaking that second hairpin, you have to lean. Otherwise, if you do it without leaning, you're gonna have to brake. You'll understeer. You know, you feel your rear end slides. So it's a combination that should be consistent from the moment you experiment this. Well, if I think back to my local indoor track, it has the exact same double hairpin as you showed me. So tight left into an immediate right. So I know for that immediate right, it's an early sharp turn in, and you're leaning your body away from the corner, loading those outside tires.
As well, exactly the same as well. Yeah. So I have 2 locals. Don't ask why. So my local track, again, we come up a ramp. We're flying at high speed, just like how you got the highest point in the circuit. And ours is a little bit different. We just have ours is like a plywood surface. It's very grippy. You have a massive lift, and then you enter the left into the tight right. But the one thing I've noticed is if you carry more momentum into that first left, which is the same as yours, the left into right, you're gonna set yourself up nice. As long as you've got the steering angle and you're getting in back across to then set up the right hand, you're gonna nail it. And I think one thing is because I know you're probably gonna be thinking more about the second now. And now we told you not to brake. That's kind of a different thing. But just keep the first one there. Keep the first one present in your mind, because it could be that you're now focusing just on the second one, and then you lose the first one. I think the best way to do it is the first one, nail the first one, but then at the same time have the second one. You're kind of bubbling away, if that kind of makes sense.
Absolutely. One 100%. More thing
of course.
To add, Nikita, is the entry speed you take for the first hairpin is so crucial, because if you go in too hot,
overspeed,
you're taking way too much entry speed. You slide, as you said, that happens a few times. Sliding over here could be due to just too much entry speed. All you got to do is slow it down. So you've got to slow it down on the entry of the corner, and especially for the hairpin on my track, which is exactly the replica of yours in terms of the layout. We brake nice and early before the corner where my yellow is, and then where you could say where the blue is, we start applying gas. Like it's crazy.
Oh, really?
Early.
We brake very early in the corner, and then we're accelerating through the. So it's very, 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 important combination where brakes very early, so slow in, and exiting the corner. Now, what we're not doing is on blue going 100% instantly. It's just being a bit gradual with it. You need time and control to apply that.
And have we told him how he's braking here? Has that been covered?
Yeah.
Yes. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. What we're gonna have to do is inform you that try these 2 different lines: the red line, the pink line.
Sure.
Let's know how it goes. We'd be happy to know what works faster.
Absolutely.
Any questions?
No, that was actually a lot more info than I thought it would be. So it will take a little bit to digest, and then I'm gonna try it out tomorrow. Actually, Monday is a buy one session, get the second session free. So I'll try it out.
There you go. We love the deals.
And he can comment in the thing how it goes.
Please keep us updated on the Academy page. Let's make a post.
17 maybe.
Yeah.
And it's 18.
17 is the target now.
There you go. 17 seconds. You got this.
17
Well,
is the target.
Thanks so much, guys. It was so nice chatting with you, chatting with somebody who understands karting, because I don't want to figure it out all on my own. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you again.
Sure, me too. Likewise.
All right, what we're going to do is go over to the YouTube chat because we've got a question from
Question.
Marcel. So this is for Guy. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
Yeah, the question.
sorry. So, Guy, what is the main difference between an indoor and an outdoor hairpin, especially for heavy drivers? This is perfect because I'm quite heavy. I weigh about 80 kg, 80, 70, 89, kind of that range. So, I think probably the main difference is going to be the level in grip, especially because hairpins are all about setting up your entry, especially if it's a double, then get the perfect exit. I think outdoors, late apexes are more effective. Because you have that runoff you can use, usually at outdoor tracks. I mean, of course, some like we had on the guy a couple of weeks ago with the Madrid track. It was a very thin track. That was outdoors, kind of indoors, same time. But essentially, I think you want to be as precise. I know you have to be precise everything, but indoors, it's really, really important to be as close to those barriers as possible. But the main difference, I would say, is the grip and probably how much you can send it actually. Does that make sense? Because indoor, you make a mistake, you're into a barrier instantly.
You're right. Whereas Dave Hill and Milton Keynes,
I mean,
outdoor track with a nice bit of runoff or curb, you can afford to use that as you know,
a bit of what's it called, like a crash helmet basically. You can use it as a way to kind of make sure if you overshoot a little bit, you're fine. But
There's no
indoor,
risk,
no, there's no risk. That's the thing.
indoor, you go under the barrier.
I listen. I've never done that. Of course, that's a lie. But yeah, I would say if I don't know what you're actually focusing on. Do you focus on more outdoor or indoor? It's not there.
He was on the light one.
No worries. All good. But
He's
Marcel,
an outdoor karting driver.
he's not okay. So outdoor.
Yeah, outdoor.
Try your best just to kind of carry the momentum. Although they're the tightest form of corners, momentum's really important for
Especially when you're
hairpins.
heavier.
And the braking.
Yeah.
And also outdoors, if you're an outdoor driver, it completely depends. There are two identical hairpins at Rara, which is a kart track in the Cumbria. Outdoors, loads of runoff, really fast track, very grippy tires. But there's two differences.
Yeah.
I'm braking a lot earlier on one of them, and a lot later, even the exact same hairpins. And the reason why that is one of them uphill, one of them downhill. And we all know braking uphill is going to be a lot easier to do because it's just slam on the brakes without locking the back tires and just apply that brake pressure quite suddenly and then trail brake out the corner.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, main difference, grip levels and how much you can send it. Make sure you're comfortable in sending it before you kind of fully send it.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is go over to Augustus. Before we go over to Augustus, what's up, Saad? Can you hear us? I think Saad joined whilst we were reviewing Nikita's footage. Can you hear us, Saad? Saad and also Salman. Guys, if you have some mics, it'll be good to speak with you guys. If you need any.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Salman?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Oman.
MashaAllah. So you're joining from Muscat, is that correct?
Yes.
Wow. What a track. Saad, what's up, Saad?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, all good. Is it your first time joining, Saad, the track help session?
Second, I think.
Amazing. So, guys, Saad first, do you have any footage or questions that you wanted to go over, or you just want to watch?
I do have footage. Where can I send it though?
Okay, so are you on the Academy page?
Yes.
Excellent. If you just send a link, reply to one of the track help sessions, and just put a comment saying, "Here's my footage." And is it a YouTube link or download?
Well,
link?
it's an Instagram clip that I've downloaded, but I can upload it to like Google Drive or something and just send it over.
So is that of your track and you driving?
No, it's another team. I don't have a GoPro or anything, but it's for Kart Town. It's one of the teams that always win. So.
Yeah, excellent. So just fill us in. Which track is this? Which country is it in?
It's in UAE in Sharjah,
Excellent. Which track?
a karting town.
Karting
My
town,
track?
beautiful. That's Adham's track.
I think
actually.
you viewed it last time as well.
Yeah, that's right. So why don't you go ahead and share that video? In the meantime, Salman,
For sure.
Yes.
you are joining from Muscat, which means you've only got Muscat Speedway. Is that your track?
Yes.
Amazing. So funny story is we did the MENA Karting Championship in 2020 and 2022 at Muscat. It's an amazing track. Probably one of my favorites. And how experienced are you there? Do you go regularly? What are you sort of
Yes, but I'm not bad, يعني.
Mashallah. You got one of the top timings.
Yes, I got 56.7 second.
And is that the record?
Yes.
Amazing.
mine.
There we go. So Salman maybe needs to show us how to do the track.
Oh,
You know,
we have
next
to
time,
soon.
next time I come to Muscat, inshallah, we have to do a race together. It'll be fun. Actually, I saw that your track changed the Saudi carts to Birel, and the Birel is the same as the Lusail carts that we have in Qatar at Lusail. So those are very fun to drive. So Salman, is there any specific footage you wanted to review or questions, or you just want to join the session? You just participate?
No, I want to decrease my time, and I don't know like how to break good on that.
to get 55. Gotcha. Well, we're gonna look through some footage for you, hopefully. Let's just admit Tariq before we move on. Before that, Augustus, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. Augustus, give us one moment. You're next. Let's get Tariq in though.
All right, no problem.
Hello, Tariq. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome back, Tariq. This is you're becoming a regular now on the sessions. How are things?
Yeah, hopefully I'll also be a regular on the track.
Absolutely. Well, I know you've got lots of races lined up. Do you have any footage
Yeah.
specifically for today that you wanted to review?
No, I'm afraid I couldn't record any videos for today, but
No,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
here to check on the other people. Yeah.
Don't worry. Look, the thing is, guys, those who joined slightly later, we've just finished the 24 hours race at Daytona Milton Keynes in the UK. I've got Guy Williams next to me, GWI Racing. You might know him from YouTube. He's been very, very kind to be my cameraman for this race. And hopefully in the next week or so, you'll see the video on YouTube, the behind the scenes, where you can see the entire race, start to finish, of how it went. I'll tell you what, it's very exciting. If you guys do follow KTips on Instagram, which I recommend you do, check out the stories we've been putting for the past couple of days throughout the practice and the entire race. So you can stay up to date with, what happened. But that's why we're also cutting this track session short, because I've got a flight to catch very soon. But we said the grind doesn't stop. We got to continue track out. There's people who want to review their footage. So Augustus, we're going to start with yours.
Yeah.
And if you can just fill us in with your track whilst I get it up.
Yeah.
So I live a bit like, I don't know if any of you guys know Alicante in Spain.
Wow.
I've done that track, I think.
You've done this track over here?
No. I don't live in Alicante. I live 40 minutes south from there.
Yeah.
It's a city called Torrevieja.
Awesome.
And there is a local championship between two tracks that are from the same owner. One is in Ciudad Quesada and other is in Orihuela Costa.
Wow. And these are like some top karting drivers from Spain?
Yeah, I've raced against there's a team called they're called LSK team.
Okay.
Team. They are resistance national champions from 2021.
Wow.
So I'm trying to level up to their level. And next race is the one that is shown in the video.
I think the lag is gone now, right? You can see the video smoothly.
Yeah, it's perfect for me. I don't know how it is
Yeah.
for other people.
I think I'm just reviewing from my side as well. It looks like, yeah, it's fairly smooth. So what we got in front is this a resistance training individual resistance driver in front of you?
No, that's a monitor. That's a monitor from the track because
Okay.
there's a new layout. If you go back a little bit,
Yeah, let's just scroll back.
roll back, a little bit back. And now stop right there. Moments before that hairpin.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the main straight, the start straight, but they added a hairpin to
Here, right?
hand. No, it's a bit later. Like, go there. That's a right-hander, and after that right-hander, there's an immediate left-hander that should be the main straight, but they added a left hairpin.
This, yeah.
And
you can see that, right?
Yeah, it's go straight on usually.
Yeah, and that's another right-hander with some double hairpins over there. Which I'm kind of struggling because it was my only training with that new layout. And it made it so slow. And it was feeling so weird at the same time.
Well, I'll be honest, this track looks like it's indoor but outdoor. The reason is there's not much runoff. The tires and those mini barriers beside the track limits, and there's no real curbs which are raised on the ground. If anything, it's paint.
Yeah.
That's very good references in terms of apex points, establishing early apex, a middle apex, late apex. You can understand that by looking at the track. You come to the back end of the lap now. This is very tight. Look at this new section. You've almost got to use all of the track available. And this is very interesting. So we're starting a lap now. It's flying through a fast right-hander. This is pretty much flat out, quite straightforward. Into your first braking point, which is the hairpin. Into a fast left. We're just familiarizing ourselves with the track, using all the track on exit. So here, the track actually opens up, right? So you can use a bit more runoff. You do that. I like your hand position as well. Minimal steering input. Coming into a high speed blind right. Now this is a blind right because it's a long corner where you do you hit the brakes here, or are you lifting? What are you doing for this?
I just slightly tap the brakes and push a little bit of steering into the right and just let the kart slide.
Yeah.
So that when I'm almost at the apex of the corner, I can just start applying the throttle and the kart just turns by itself.
Yeah. Well, if you know early on in the corner, or as you've turned, coming up to midway, we still can't see the apex. It's all on feeling here and judgment. We keep going. We still can't see the apex. It's a long right. And it's about here now where the corner opens up or the barrier ends. You see the painted curb. You turn in and you take a turn. Interesting. We're going to come back to this.
I know what is going on.
We're familiarizing ourselves with this. Carrying that speed into another hairpin, which is pretty much a double hairpin. And if you look at this, I'm trying to listen to the revs over here. Yeah. So what you'll find is it's it's another braking point, if I'm not correct. If I'm correct in thinking. So the first hairpin is braking, right?
Yeah.
Coming to the first hairpin,
and
hit the brakes, turn.
and now at this moment, well, just a little bit later, I just apply the throttle and don't lift off.
Yeah. The first brake, and then second hairpin, no brakes, flat. Excellent. Final couple of corners, the new section, you're trying to widen this up to take the fast left. And look how sharp that is.
Yeah.
I love how you're opening up the entry for the first right, so you can stay as left as possible because the wall or the barrier comes
It's
out.
going to be there anyway, isn't it? But he was right over, and he's still right over the barrier here.
So imagine if he wasn't. That's the thing. He'd have to brake more.
So that's okay, because I think this is just flat for him, isn't it?
This is flat.
Yeah,
but now
okay.
let's just see. Is this a tap of the brake for the final hairpin?
I use the same technique as in the first double hairpins.
Tap. Yeah, very good. What I feel, based on looking at this footage, is let's go over some lines you can experiment for the double hairpins. Generally, the rest looks pretty good. Got a good understanding. Just to quickly review, since we're here,
Flat right.
switch over the entire screen.
I think the main thing here with those double hairpins.
What did you know?
Yeah, the main thing here with these double hairpins is going to be delaying that second hairpin, because there's one at Buckmore, and you gotta really kind of sacrifice the inside line, that first apex, to then hit. Especially the one. So we go around to the left here, and we start the lap, of course, here. I presume this is the start finish line.
Yeah.
So straight across. You want to be gradually going over there to not lose that speed, and you want to be kind of sticking to the inside. The inside, this first corner looks good to me. I don't know about you, Omar.
What I've noticed is
maybe quicker over to the left.
No, I think this is about right. And because it's flat out, it's all about placement of the kart. I'm putting as less steering input in as possible. Right here, I'd really be leaning my body. Use your body to turn.
Yeah, I do.
You're leaning, yeah? Excellent.
Yeah.
So continue leaning. I love how you're getting close to the inside curb. You know, it's a bit bumpy, right?
Yeah. And now
the
next corner after this fast right-hander, the apex is really bumpy, and I do not know how to take it. It's probably the most of the time that I lose.
Yeah. So this is the blind right.
I think that's mostly correct, actually.
You think it's correct?
Well, no, mostly, because he's going. I mean, you could even have a bit more on the left here. You've still got about half a foot space.
Yeah.
Because it's very, as you said, indoor-esque with the very tight barriers. You want to be utilizing every single bit. So I think it's got to be late, but you've got to be able to maybe even later. So maybe even further over to this kind of section on the track, on the far left. Then be able to set up so you're over here, because this is going to be. And then actually, because you've got this space where you can kind of just meander over the paint, so that's fine. I mean, what do you think, Omar?
So the thing with these kinds of corners is the angle you take it at. You're full on the gas, and then it's a tap of the brake. And when you brake and you're at this angle where you're already turning the kart, it unsettles it, right? I'll be honest, karts prefer straight line braking, right? They're more stable. The brakes are only located at the rear. So what happens when your kart is turning and the rear is turning as well, and you brake, it's going to unsettle it. And what happens is this is a constant right.
Very unsettling, you can see.
So you'll get that bouncing and juddering. To mitigate that, you could try something called a brief lift.
Yeah.
So before you actually brake, you lift off the gas completely. And you do that early, right? What you're doing, you're scrubbing off speed gradually. And that period where you lift off the gas, but it's no brake, remember? So it's coasting. You want to coast initially in the corner, right? And then lay the brakes down. So hit the brakes. You can try gradual, slowly building up the pressure. But that initial lift will reduce the speed enough where it's not going to shake so violently.
Yeah.
So if you can lift, coast the kart for, I'm talking half a second. Not
Wait.
you have to hit the brakes, get to your apex. And now what I'm thinking on exit is how quickly can I get to that next corner as possible? Because it's all about minimizing the meters. And the reason we're trying to get to the other side as fast as possible
It's so wide out here.
is the runoff.
Yeah,
exactly.
So much there. You can use all.
So
of that
rather
track.
than going to the right and basically zigzagging, why don't we go straight across?
Yeah.
Minimize the meters, right? Because at the end of it, it's not a very sharp left, because the exit is all the way out here. Yeah. Have you tried something similar to that?
No, I haven't actually, because I've trained with the sometimes with the racing team that I said it earlier.
Yes.
And they all did that line, like after the exit of the late apex.
Yeah.
Take a more open and wide line, and then just go straight flying through the apex of that corner.
Yeah. No, I get you. You know, one thing that you can try is, as opposed to being extremely to the right, we're not saying to directly go across like that.
Yeah.
Why not stay more to the left-hand side of the track? Yeah. So from the middle, or slightly to the outside of the middle, you bring that, a kart length to the left, where you're now a quarter or three-quarter, you're a quarter away from the inside edge, and you'll be 3/4 away from the outside edge. It's just about placement of the kart over here. Be slightly more to the left, just so you don't have to zigzag anymore.
Just minimize those meters.
Minimize the meters. The main thing with this is you'll then be able to compare my timing taking this line and my timing taking the other line. Those are the only things that change in the 2 sessions. When you do this next time, try this line that you're currently doing, and then the line that we discussed. For this corner, the line that we discussed was approaching it at high speed. Don't brake initially, roll the kart. So lift off the gas, roll the kart, then brake, so the kart doesn't get unsettled. Slowly feed the power back down. I would take a similar apex, mid to late, bring the kart to the middle of the track. Yeah. Don't force the kart to be too far to the right, because more you go to the right, more then you'll have to cut back to the left. Yeah. Open up these turns. After that, it's straightforward. Go along straight using the runoff. It looks very, very good. Human DRS.
We love it, human DRS. Now this is going to be cool here.
Into another blind right. Beautiful.
That first one's good. The 2 of these is there.
This is a very good line. See, here you're spending more time sacrificing. So what's happening here? Turning to the right. You're smooth on the brakes here. Rolling the kart, and then you're laying the power back down. This is such a great corner that you've taken there. Again, roll the kart in. Back to the left. The only thing I would say, is about, and we're nitpicking here now. At the apex, look ahead to being as tight as possible over the white line. So just to the next corner, where I'm going to highlight now, there's a white line, and we want the front left tire to be over the white line. So what happened here is your steering wheel is still to the right. If you look, it's ever so slightly to the right, but what that causes you to do is go around this white line. And these things are minute, but it's hundredths of a second. Get as close to the white line as possible. One tire on it, if not, over it, because this track surface allows for it. Yeah, but the white line definitely should be hit.
There are little metal plates that still need to be careful.
That's the limit, though. Yeah, that's where the white line is. And basically, you see how now your steering wheel is turning to the left. We want to be straight, actually. If you are targeting the outside line, you can straighten up your wheel earlier, so you don't need to do these small rotation. It's all about correcting. Yeah.
Hmm.
The steering wheel, I love the grip that you've got, nice and high, trying to keep it as high up as possible, minimizing the amount of angle you put in. It's excellent. Coming up to the hairpins, most important part. That's a good effort. One more time. Hard brakes, got good rotation. And I know we can't hear the sounds now, but what's happening is it's very low speed corners, especially after you hit the brakes here. So you're hitting the brakes hard, you're getting rotation in, taking a nice apex, but you're building the revs up now. And what you've done is watch your steering wheel. Yeah. So we're fully locked to the left, and we're gonna hold it. Look, we're holding it to the left over here. I know you're trying to open up the angle for the next corner, and you're holding it again to the left. So we're taking excessive steering angle to the left, trying to open up the corner, which I understand. So you have a wider angle, take this corner. Now, at low revs, if you opened up the steering wheel to the middle, and especially looking at this track width, you got plenty of width. This is a very wide section. You do not want to go over to this side. I would rather attack it from the middle. Your revs are so low, ignore the pink part of the track. We don't want to deal with that. Stay where the blue is, right? What happens is you're reducing meters. Your revs are very low here. If you listen to the sound of your engine there, it's very low. And you can flick the kart not to the left, nope, but rather to the right. Neutralize the wheel to the middle and flick it to the right.
So at that point, I should already be like straightening the wheel.
Yeah,
like
and
forward.
Exactly. Use maybe this crossover point. You see how the two lines intersect? That could be a reference, or maybe a dark patch in the middle of the track. If you look towards that middle, you want to drive over that. The idea is, especially when the track is this wide, don't waste meters by coming all the way to the left. Yeah. Save your meters. Save your meters and keep up the revs, more importantly.
You want to carry so much momentum, I think.
Yeah. Build that momentum. Because you've done your braking before this.
Yeah.
Now carry that speed. Small things, small things. Nice apex. Using up the exit.
Yeah.
And now the tricky left. Which honestly, you're doing a great job. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
There's nothing more you can do there.
You're using all the track on the right. I agree. You have to widen it up here because the exit is non-existent.
No.
Because this is a new layout. They've just stuck a whole load of tires.
Here's some tires.
Here's some tires. Deal with it. And really, even by taking that wide of a line, you've barely got any runoff. Keep up that line.
But he's done well to still give it some space.
Give it some space. I agree. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Final two hairpin corners.
Maybe she's utilizing all the track a bit more.
Yeah.
We need to find it further over. That's all right.
Good
It's a
effort.
very good lap, actually.
However, very similar trend. Know what we saw? You're nice at the first hairpin, apply the brakes, get rotation, cut to the middle apex. Watch your steering wheel now. You're rotating to the right. You're trying to neutralize it. Then you rotate to the right again on exit because you're trying to widen up the entry. I know that. And now again, we put rotation to the right, opening up the angle of the corner. So we've gone from right, and now we're trying to go to left. However, the revs are still very low. This is even shorter hairpin than the last one. So it's imperative that we don't do this excessive weave to the right and then back to the left because your revs are still so low. But what can you do this time? Apex slightly later. So you'll be hitting it where the second yellow tire is on the left. Be on the right-hand side already and then veer off to the left. So use this white line as a reference. Be on top of it. So your kart, your front left tire should be here. Your back left tire should be here. Front right tire here. Back right tire over here. What you don't want to do is stay all four wheels to the right of it. Front left, front right, back left, back right. So you don't want to do something like this. Let's see. Yeah, it's something small. Here he was on top. He was on top, right?
But he's facing to the right.
Your steering wheel was more to the right. So what happened? We took block to the right. So we're thinking we're going to go into the wall over there. Straighten up. That's all. Very, very simple. Straighten up. Keep in the middle. And the reason you want to do that is because the track is very, very wide. Wider the track is, and the less revs you have in a slow speed corner like this, the less meters you want to waste. Avoid going anywhere on this side. Keep it within the white line and flick the kart to the left.
And maybe a bit. I don't know how viable neutral steer is outdoors.
Yeah, with the steering, you've got it pretty much bang on. What I would say is mid corner, you don't want to be doing corrections.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to hold it. I said this last time with the Rotax driver.
Yeah.
Where, you want to decide a steering angle for that corner.
Yeah.
And just keep it there.
Yeah. So what's happened is, look, you've applied a bit of steering angle.
And then you go back.
Then you're correcting. Then you're going back again. Then you're opening up. And then we're correcting again.
Yeah.
So try and be smooth with run angle of rotation. Takes practice.
Yeah.
But what does that force you to do? Force you to turn in at the right point. What's happening is you've turned in early. Then you've neutralized mid corner. Then you realize, no, I can take a bit more apex. So we turn to the right. And it's small things. But that motion of left, right can cost you a few hundreds. So overall, I think you're in a really good way. You've got really good resources because you got professional kart teams there who are helping you with training. And more than that, you know, it's minute things to really improve on. It's not something major. It's not a braking issue or, you know, a serious line issue. No, just for the double hairpin corners, for example, keep it in the middle of the track as opposed to trying to open it up. And for those blind right-hand corners, as opposed to braking hard immediately, he's gone. We'll continue it as for the blind right-hand corners, rather than braking immediately, lift off the gas a little to secure the kart, and then lay the power back down. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think you'll be on a good way. What's your feedback to that?
I haven't really thought about it because, like, I just always had in mind that for tight hairpins and all those types of corners, you really had to open up, like, before the entry, just to get the maximum amount of speed on the exit.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean.
Usually
and
you do.
You're right.
But
if there was more distance between the two hairpins, I agree. Widen it up. Because when you have more distance, you can build up more speed. What's happened at your track is very short distance between the two corners. So you should think about minimizing the meters. How short of a distance can I take here? Because my revs are not going to be high. You're almost at how many kilometers? 10, 20 kilometers?
I would say maximum 15.
Maximum 15 between that, yeah?
Maybe 16.
When you have a longer straight, you can build up to 20, 30 kilometers maybe. But
it always feels faster in a kart.
Yeah.
Because you're so low down to the ground.
Yeah. Minimize the meters. Try that. Try that for both hairpins. Try out the braking technique we discussed for the blind right corners. For those, again, just to recap, don't brake immediately and hard as your kart is unsettled or off-center because you're turning to the right. Lift. Give it half a second just to lift. Roll the kart. Then apply the brakes either softly or slightly harder and harder. And then continue apexing as you are, slightly late in the corner.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I can see your time at skeptical, and I think Omar has a really good point. The wideness of those hairpins is literally. So you know that white line we were telling you about the second one, where you were saying this way you want to put your kart. From there to the barrier is as wide as the indoor tracks I race at. And then you have all that extra space that you just don't need. You just don't. It's a bit like, again, at Lakeside, when we have a fast right, and we don't use all the track there, but you just don't need it. You can just stick it so tight. And And it does. I mean, you never know. In those karts look decently old. In 5 years' time, they might get some new karts, and you'll have to adjust it because they'll be quicker with more acceleration. It just depends, doesn't it? It really does depend on the track, on the kart, how slowly, how fast you're going, and that just trust what we're saying. Also, trust your instincts. It might be you can take it even tighter and even more direct. You've just got to find out. Just experiment. We've said to like experiment. I mean, maybe what 1 50-minute session you get over the white line. 1 50 minutes, you get a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. You have to experiment, and that's the the best way to experiment is to use that GoPro to review your footage, and also to lap times. You think, okay, my lap times are quicker this session, and at the end of the session, of course, lap times are always going to be quickest at the end. That's when the tires are hottest, so that's not even the word, warm. And yeah, just really experiment, and you'll do perfectly.
Absolutely.
Back to Omar.
Anything to add to that, Augustus?
I don't think really. I think now that I've seen your feedback on the video and all that, I do think that those are my main flaws, and I'll try to get better on those parts.
It's not a flaw. It's not a flaw. It's an improvement that can be made. You got to be positive.
It's a driving adjustment.
There you go.
That's the word I was looking for. Karting is all about trying new things, and you're in a great position where you've got a lot of kit. You've got GoPro. You're regular at the track. You've got good drivers there. So the best way to take it to the next level now is trying new things each time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not guaranteed every time you try something new, you're going to be faster. But the fact that you're experimenting this makes you a better driver.
I was just about to say that.
Forces you to think of new techniques, and you're not limiting yourself to, oh, the fastest driver on the track told me to do this, so I'm going to do this. Yeah, he's going to give you the foundation. He's going to give you the general line. It's up to you then as a driver to mold that to your style, and you as a driver will find strengths and weaknesses in certain corners compared to the other guy. So you might be fast in T1, he might be fast in T2, but your line in T3 is better, so you can catch it back. And these things come with experience. The more and more sessions you do, the more experimenting you do, it'll help out. I definitely do think the double hairpins tightening up will reduce your timing. Set that in isolation, only change the line for the double hairpin in one session, and only change double hairpin for the line in the other session. And in terms of like that braking technique for the blind right hand corners, in terms of lifting and then braking, that's purely experimentational. What the suggestion I gave is just more to help you with stability. When you get a lot of shaking, that means you're going beyond what the tires can cope, the tires can grip. So you have to slow it down. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. It's about slowing it down so it's the most stable.
Yeah, exactly. Adham, go for it.
Yeah, so I have an unrelated question.
Yeah.
What do you think of Senna's throttle technique? Would it really be helpful in modern day karting, or is it a thing from the past? So hitting the throttle and releasing it in very quick succession in the middle of a corner.
So you're saying full gas and lift off the gas, or give brake whilst the gas?
So in the middle of a turn, you're hitting the gas and then releasing it, like hit release. So what do you think of that? Would it be helpful?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's very interesting that you asked that. Let me show you some footage. Let me bring up some footage, because the track that we just raced at, Daytona Milton Keynes, has a corner, the fast right. It's a downhill, which has the exact same, feeling that you're talking about, where you want to go flat, but mid corner, you're like, I'm understeering out. Let me lift off. So I've got a lap over here. Why not just bring up some D-Max? Good old D-Max practice. We love a bit of D-Max.
The good thing about D-Max is, and this is a great way to learn, is their throttles are so sensitive.
Yeah.
So this can really implement good foot technique. That sounds really weird, but good throttle. We love a good advert.
We don't actually, because we're trying to do a track health. Just wait for these ads to think.
I think it's very track dependent though. That technique. Would you agree with that? Or
I agree. No, so normally I wouldn't do that, especially in rental karts, the 4-stroke, because you lose your momentum.
Yeah.
At the moment you lift off and put the gas down. Now, I'm showing you some footage from
This is where we did our 24
from
hour race.
from the 24-hour race,
Yeah.
not from the 24
No.
hours, but the track with the 24 hours. And it's this specific corner. Let's see if I can clear it. Yep, we're coming up to it now. That's,
It's a lovely corner.
if you get it right, it's one of
Yeah,
the best
It's
corners.
really fun to do. Thank you.
So it's a blind right downhill,
And
and you brake early. And as you lay your foot down now on the gas, the corner becomes tighter and tighter. You see how it's getting tight. And here mid corner, I actually applied some brake. So I was full on the gas, and as I felt the car understeering, I tapped the brake, right? Just so it would stay within the inside part of the track. I don't understeer out wide. If this was a Saudi or 4-stroke car, right, I would try to sacrifice time on entry of corner. I'd try to be slower here, then be absolutely flat out through there. Because why are we in a position in the first place to lift mid corner? Because we've taken too much speed on entry, right? You're going too fast into the corner. Midway, you're like, I'm going too fast, I need to lift. So why not reverse that by sacrificing the time on entry, so you can just lay the power down and go flat through the rest of the corner.
So braking early would be the better solution here?
In 4-stroke karts, braking early is the solution. In 2-stroke karts, you could get away with braking or lifting mid-corner, but it has to be very quick. And again, that's experimentation. It's very much corner specific. What I found was, you have to get it absolutely spot on to even gain time like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time you lose by lifting.
quite an advanced technique.
Okay.
Yeah. Sacrifice more time on entry. That's what I'd say.
Awesome.
Right, guys.
Also,
go for it.
also second thing, is it really worth it at my level to get something to record footage on track with?
100%.
If so, what should I get?
I would recommend any type of GoPro because it's plug and play. You can get a very good second-hand GoPro for 800 dirhams, 900 dirhams. You'd have to pay double that for brand new.
Way cheaper than that.
I'm just converting it to
Oh, sorry,
currency
my
he
bad.
understands. So that's $300.
I thought you
No,
said-
not
yeah,
$300. $200.
confused things.
You
I
can pick up a
apologise,
nice
more made.
second-hand one for $200, right? You'd have to spend $400 on brand new. The reason is it just brings it's a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Once you got that camera, every time you go karting now you can record it.
And they're made to last, so they'll last you.
Yeah. So every time you go karting, you're gonna have your footage, and you can submit it to track help, so you can get us to review it, for example. But more than that, for your own reference, have a hard drive, store your footage there, and after every session, in the week, try and review at least once, refresh your mind. What happens is next time you go karting, you're more prepared, and this is what the top level drivers do. If you look at Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, they all do a post-session debrief. It's done behind the scenes. They all put their headsets on, behind the garage, and they sit down and they look at data. They look at onboard footage. They tell people, okay, can you go to turn 3 on this lap and look at what happened here? And they discuss, okay, try this, try that. Was the car handling bad over here? Was that the driver? So it opens a whole, another level to your analysis. And because you're going there regularly, I would say definitely save up for that and get one. Get a deal on is it Dubzil? Is that the
That's one of the used sites here.
honestly, that's what we use in Qatar, for example,
The best way
to
describe
get
it, it's a worthwhile investment.
because people are always selling GoPros. I picked up so many for a good price, and it just has to plug and play. That's all.
Yeah, got it. Right, thank you.
Guys, I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut the session now because we are going to have to catch up for next week. Saad, please go ahead. Saad, can you hear us? I think
Can you
Saad
hear
is
me?
on.
Hello?
Oh yeah, Saad, what's up? What's
My
up, Saad?
mic is muted. I did upload the link to one of the messages
Yeah,
in
excellent.
the academy. Yeah.
Saad, I believe I've got it from is it Kalis? No, that's Kalis, that's different.
It's the track session help, the one you posted today. It's in the comments of that.
Mazen. Okay, Mazen. Perfect.
If
Yeah, this is from Nearby Racing.
if needs
Maybe. What we're gonna have to do, Saad, I'm gonna go ahead and review this footage in the meantime.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to catch up next week to go over
For sure.
this.
I
And
did
I'll
get
have to
podium,
go-
by the way, for the first time.
brilliant.
This is you driving?
No, this is not me. I wish.
Okay, but to challenge these guys is excellent. I mean, when was this race?
I'm not sure about this one, but the podium
Yeah.
I got was on Friday. It was a SWS,
Amazing.
and it was on the
yeah.
normal layout. So
Super. Let me take a look at this footage. Generally, what did you need help with? Was it different corners or something specific?
well, mostly defending and
Okay.
just keeping up the pace. Because
Yeah.
my time on that track is like 1:10.9, which is
Excellent.
decent. The best in like tournaments is like 1:09.
Yeah, you're competitive, that's for sure. So I'm gonna note down some things about racecraft that we can go for. What we'll do is catch up next week at the same time. We're gonna put a post on that. We'll be more settled. As I said, we've done this on the back of a 24-hour endurance race. So we didn't want to miss today.
No.
And if I didn't have a flight in a couple of hours, we would have continued on. Given more time.
How
But
was
let's
the
take it
race?
for next week. It was a very intense race.
Yeah.
Because we qualified in P12. We worked our way up to P3 by halfway, so by 12 hours we were at P3. The rain then came overnight and it flooded the track. Now we did hand it over to drivers who were meant to be comfortable in the rain, but chaos happened. When it rains heavy, there were a few spin outs, there were a few crashes. Ultimately, though, what messed us up was the sprocket. The sprocket actually bent in our car, and you could hear it grinding every time it came on the main straight because it's grinding against the axle. We came in to repair that. You lose about 5-10 minutes, which is 5-10 laps. They somehow repaired it. I wouldn't say repaired it. They got a hammer and banged it into place, straightened it out. Same thing happened when they went back out on track. The sprocket bent again. So they had to do some further adjustments.
Was it the same cart for 24 hours?
You draw it once.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It wasn't. No.
it wasn't the best, I agree, but you got to make do with what you got. And had it not been for that sprocket issue,
we would have done.
we could have gone top 10. So
Easy.
in the end, we got demoted to P12 to P3 to P12 again, and worked our way up to what P11 it was. And Jensen brought it home.
100%.
Are you following the KTips Instagram page, Saad?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not.
Shoot us a follow, and
For sure.
you'll see all the stories because we're doing a live hour by hour, update, and you can see everything that happened, all the pictures, videos. It was,
and it will only be live for the next 24 hours. So make sure you get on.
next 24
sure.
hours. Yeah.
May I? Help? Last thing, 5 seconds.
Before we go, and we go on.
So,
with the question.
There's not a question. This is okay. So for anyone who's missed it today, I don't know if anyone's going to allow me to say this or not. I am probably going to go live tomorrow on my channel. Basically, the exact same premise. Don't subscribe because I don't want to. I don't want to steal Omar's thunder. I'm an indoor driver, but I have loads of experience outdoors as well.
Yeah.
Of course, you've agreed to do the person who just submitted. But if anyone's eager to maybe get some information before a race, I'm going to go live, same sort of time, exact same premise. I don't know if we can make me moderator. I can do this or not, or we can figure out another way. Just drop me a message in the in the school academy.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm happy to help, even if it's just a
That's
message.
it.
There we go.
The point of the academy now is, people to interact as well. It's great that we're having track help sessions regularly, but generally, if you have any questions about karting, make a post about it. You're free to do that. That's the point. So whatever is on your mind and you need help with, either myself or someone else will hopefully get back to you, and we make it interactive like that.
It's community.
We're gonna just finally answer
I know.
Dino's question. So Dino said, can you please check out the YouTube link of my Al Ain run? Wow, my name is Khalis. I submitted to one of your comments. That's excellent. Well, same thing that we said with Saad. Let's leave this for next week, and
if you need
I'll
me-
review it in the meantime so we can put more analysis
I'll
towards
review it
that.
as well. So I'm happy
So-
to help anyone. Drop me a PM.
Let's hopefully catch up in the next session,
That's here.
which is going to be next week, and we'll end the live stream on that side.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'll let
Take
Omar
care,
do the
guys.
outro.
Take care, guys. It's been a pleasure.
You too.